Hi there, Chris here with another quick tip for you all. In this video we're going to take a look at the new Artificer paint set that has recently come out from Games Workshop. And so as you can see here, we have an assortment of colors. We basically have the three primary colors as well as the tertiary colors and a black and a white that come within the set, which is basically a complete color set for you to change values in whatever paints you are working with. And so this is, you also get three of the little texture brushes here, basically like little spatulas. And really these are pretty good if you are going to be using these to, as Games Workshop recommends, to take a little bit of color and add it to a pot of paint and change the values. And that's really what they recommend you do with the paint pots. You can simply just take a little bit from the paint pot and add it to your palette if you are mixing colors, but otherwise, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You also get this little handy sticker chart as well, and also comes with the names of the paints as well. It also has these little tags that you can see here. They're little squares. They come off, and that's, I guess, for indicating if you are, for example, taking a regular bottle of White Scar and going to add, say, 2 drops of Sanguineous to it and change it to some sort of red color. That's really kind of what it's going to indicate. And then you slap the little stickers on the bottle showing that, you know, you've used White Scar with 2 little bottles of, or 2 little drops of, you know, whatever paint you were using. And really that's about it. Now, is this paint set for everyone? I would say no, because a lot of painters out there are just not going to really you know, get the full benefit of this. Now, everybody who's into competition type level painting, display type painting, may find some real value in this set, as everybody who is into mixing colors and such and things like that. What this color set really does provide is some really vibrant colors. For example, if you were to take Mephiston Red and simply add a yellow, or say you were to add a Yuri yellow, or like this is more like Flash gets yellow. If you were to simply add that to this, you end up with you know, a light orange, but it loses a bit of the vibrancy of the color. Versus if you were to add this color to the Mephiston Red, you end up with a really vibrant mixture. And in fact, the colors are not the same. And in fact, you use a lot less of this to change the overall value to whatever you were looking for. But otherwise, this paint set, like, it is really good. In fact, you know, because again, like as I mentioned, you do get the 3 primary colors. You get your tertiary colors here. Well, this guy's kind of standalone, but you get your orangish color, you get your purple, you get your oh, here's the green. And so here's, you get your tertiary colors here, and then you get some offsets here. This is a darker blue, as well as a mustard type yellow. And then of course you get your black and white. And the white is really solid, the black is really solid. These colors, when you look at them, they do not flow like the normal paints. They actually flow more like the edge colors. They're very, very thin, highly viscous, as they are rich in pigment, but they are in a acrylic binder, so they're not like a dry pigment set, sort of like you'd find here, where you can change colors and such like that. It's not a dry pigment set. These are a wet paint, but they don't flow quite like an ink, where you see some other companies that provide extra colors to change values and maintain vibrancy. These are a bit more like the edge colors, if for anybody who's ever used those. But a question I get asked quite a bit is, you know, what colors do I really need, you know, if I'm on a budget or what have you. Now, with this color set, and if you had a limited budget and you could only afford, say, for example, these identical colors in their regular kind of pigment form, like for example, you know, you only had, you know, your Evil Sun Scarlet, you had your Flash Gets Yellow, and you had your Cantor Blue. If you could only afford those colors and you wanted to get a lot more out of them, this I definitely would recommend. Now this paint set is fairly pricey, but you get quite a bit out of it. And again, mixing these colors with the other colors is really fun as it changes the values drastically with just a little bit of paint. And so in that regards, like if you, it seems like a big investment, and it really is. But again, you get a whole lot more usage out of your paint. And in fact, for a lot of new painters, and for any painters out there who want to really kind of step up their painting, this is definitely one of those kits that you definitely would want to pick up, because again, I don't know how many times I've mixed colors into red, and like for example for like Mephiston red, and adding like whites to it and going to this really pink kind of state, whereas when you add white to it, it still maintains that nice vibrant red color without diluting and like desaturating the color, as it were, as oftentimes you end up have happening with colors mixtures. And so really quick here, instead of just talking about the example here, I'll actually show you. And so let's take the white again, for example, and we are going to mix. Let's go with this example here, Mephiston red, okay, and the new what is it, Jacati Con, yeah. And so let's just take a little bit here, and I will demonstrate really quickly. So let's take make sure your paints are thoroughly mixed. Let's take a little daub, and we're going to use my regular standard brush to draw off, just a bit of paint here. Now, again, it's not entirely scientific, but it's usually about as much as paint as I usually draw onto my palette. And I will quickly lay out one little dollop of Mephiston red. And then really quickly here, let's make sure your paint's thoroughly mixed. Let's take a bit of the Jacati, was it Jacati Con? And let's grab just a little bit here. We don't need a whole lot. That's quite a bit, actually. I grabbed right there. That's a fair amount. And let's just quickly mix it right into the Mephiston red. And of course, we're going into the pink values, but that's fine. But the vibrancy of the color remains. And if you really wanted to kind of bring this color back up a bit, you could also take a bit of the sanguineous red here and really kind of bring back some of that red back into it while maintaining a fairly light tone like this. You can see how the color is really quite nice here. Really quickly, I'll grab another little dollop, and I'll grab as much paint as I did before. So again, and I'll lay it down on my palette. And then this time I'll grab some white scar. Could also use ceramite white as well. And I will grab about what I had grabbed with the Jacati Con, which is almost about that much right there. We might have to instant replay that, but we'll grab about that much there. And right off the bat, you can see how the colors are not the same. There's a lot more white in here, and the color is just not as bright. You see, like the white inside there, it's reflecting so much light, and again, it's just not as much. It's not as strong, but that's what you would expect from something that's just a concentrated color. And as you can see here, so again, they're not, as you can see, they're not exactly the same. With a little bit of Jacati Con added to the Mephiston red, it really brightened it up, as opposed to just using a little bit of white scar, which brought it up just a little bit, but it doesn't, it's still in the red phase, but it's not as far gone as here. And so again, this is really great for mixing with your colors. Again, you can mix it with the colors with your other paints on the palette to change your values, or your wet palette, whatever you're working on. But otherwise, these are, as Games Workshop would describe, is that you're going to add these to the pots of paint. Now, why would you add these colors to your pots of paint? Well, for example, we had Mephiston red. I'm just going to keep using Mephiston red as an example. Say you had picked up 2 or 3 bottles of this. Now, that seems quite expensive, but if you are a commission painter or what have you, and you wanted to have a custom color paint job, say for example we had 3 bottles of Mephiston red, and we added a little bit of black to 1 bottle of Mephiston red and changed it and made it a shade color. we took another bottle of Mephiston Red and we added a little bit of yellow to it and got us something else. And in fact, we could add the black and the yellow to the shade color just to change the values a bit, and then take, you know, the third bottle and add a bit of white to that mixture, and say we take, you know, a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white and add it and made it our highlight color. And that way we'd have a complete custom color set. And in fact, that's really where you can go with this. So for example, if you were painting an army, you want to have consistent colors, you are a commission painter and you wanted to, you know, again, have color consistency throughout your paint line, but again, you wanted to have, you know, even if you were using Mephiston Red as your base, but you wanted a shade color, so you pick up another bottle of Mephiston Red, you add a little, you know, whatever number of drops you want to add to this to bring it down a couple values, and use that to shade your paints and, you know, maintain consistency without having to, you know, constantly kind of just mix and match each time onto the palette, again, because, you know, it's not entirely accurate. And so if you can just do it just one time with your palette, and again with these little stir sticks, basically you can take your little dollop of paint, add it and mix it in, and you're off to the races, as it were. But that is it basically with these new Artificer paints. They're pretty handy. They're not for everybody. They are a bit more towards the advanced painter, but not really so much the advanced painter, but anybody who's ready to start mixing their colors and maintain color consistencies and things of that nature, which, you know, does fall into more of the advanced painters. But again, it's a bit pricey paint set, but the colors are really vibrant and they're really, really great. And for anybody who wants to go into the realm of color consistency and things like that, definitely I would recommend this as a alternative to simply picking up other bottles of similar shade colors and things of that nature. But that's it. We've got even more painting tutorials in the Silver MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch another one today about how I continue my look at the new Artificer paints, as how they mix with other colors and paints and different paint lines. Just click on the link in the video description below to watch another one right now. If you don't have a MiniWarGaming Vault membership, you can click on the link and sign up for a free 7-day trial. Make sure that you get the Silver membership so you can access the painting tutorials, and you'll get instant access to over 1,000 painting tutorials already in the vault. And so thank you for watching, and happy wargaming.